What is going on, everyone? Anthony here, and I'm here with
Brandon.
And we are doing a commentary for No More Room in Hell, and this is a little intro before we start off this film here. It turns 10 the day you're seeing this commentary, so it's a 10-year anniversary, and this film was something that we did in high school, and it was something where this was back when we didn't have, much responsibilities at all, and so we were able to kind of get together and make something that was, after our fan film of Max Payne, it was more of our original idea. So I think that's why it was also very special, because it was the first original idea that I had. But it was very much inspired by George A. Romero, zombies, Walking Dead was big at the time. So the very dark and dreary Max Payne. That's why the commentary is so depressing and sad. A lot of that stuff was just from around what I was playing or what I was doing with intaking all this kind of media. And a lot of that stuff was what spawned this film. Now, this actually was supposed to be filmed summer of 2012. And I know you remember this, Brandon, when we tried to film it and it didn't really work out.
Yeah, no, too many individuals were either not able to make it or they had other obligations. Life gets in the way. And even then, we weren't old, so...
And then you had to get rides
like
from people.
Lifetime.
Yeah, I was going to say, back then you had to get rides. We were just starting to drive, but it was
everyone had to cram in one car because only one person was old enough to get their license before everyone else, because it's a couple months difference. It's stupid stuff.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's more just trying to do what you can do to kind of get it done, and we just weren't ready the first year. So I pretty much wrote this script in 2012 and had to sit on it for a year, which sucked because I really wanted to create and do stuff. So we ended up doing a bunch of short films in the fall of 2012, like I Dwell on Thoughts in You and Alone and stuff like that, to kind of fill in that gap, because we couldn't create the feature that we wanted to, and we were kind of eager to get back into it. But we finally filmed it the summer of 2013, 4 days of filming, at very end of June into July. We got done on July 3rd. So we filmed for 4 days, and it was basically a shoot that, it was a very tight schedule. We knew that we didn't have a lot of time to waste, so we had to get the makeup done, get the people over that were zombies. We needed a lot of extras in this.
Which to also touch on, after we get done this commentary, we'll probably link the behind the scenes, because it's been a while since, we haven't really reviewed it. We may even go back and watch it after this, if possible, if we have time, but we don't even know because we're just busy right now.
I like to go and pull out some of those extra clips that maybe never made it on the blooper reel, because I probably have a few others that are hanging around on that hard drive, because I do have the files. The problem with Max Payne was I had to deal with a Windows Vista laptop crashing right after it was posted, so I don't even have the original Max Payne files at all, which blows. But thankfully for this film, I have backed it up twice, so it's backed up with my other stuff. But yeah, this was back when you're learning about hard drives and storage space, and I built a computer for this film. I wanted to say that too. Shout out to Perry, and Brandon, obviously, because and Heather, because she got me into that job that essentially paid for a computer. Shot this on a DSLR. Pat Lorenzo, shout out to him, sold it to me in school, and the files were so high quality I couldn't edit it on my laptop anymore.
Yeah, Pat, if you ever see this, you did contribute a lot. Looking in
retrospect, shout out to Pat.
There are a lot of people who even now, I'm sure in future commentaries we'll look back on it, and I'm sure things may come up just because it's been so long, but
you kind of reminisce and shit.
Yeah, it's life is just a lot of shit going on, so we're just trying to catch up, not so much with each other, but just with time, because
10 years, man, it's
we're
crazy.
We're always together, we're always doing stuff, but when it comes to this, it's not so much anymore, because a lot of this now it's very in depth. There's a process.
There's more structure.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's a good point, because we've gotten older, but we've also got more experience with each project. So we always try to structure it better and try to do better. And I think this was a good snapshot in time where it was taking things to the next level. And I remember when we were even in our old TV production class, Mr. Ingram, another one, shout out. But I told him about
who actually lives right around the corner from me now. He's literally 30 seconds
Small
away.
world.
It's insane, bro. I'm like, holy
it's
hell,
funny.
Man.
And that's the thing, and he was like, oh man, I told him about, what we were filming and what we filmed, and because the next year was my senior year, and I told him about building the computer, and I did it just for editing, and he's just like, not a lot of people would go that distance to, take it as serious as, you guys are taking it. And I never forget that conversation because, it just shows you that, like, not to brag, but in our school year and eras when we were in our age bracket, there wasn't a lot of people trying to push and do things like we were doing at that time, at least as far as on a creative level, as far as film making. Obviously, there's other people on YouTube and people our age that were doing it that were successful at the time. But in our area, in our South Jersey area, it wasn't really, we were just trying to, it's not like we were trying to make a mark, but we really wanted to just like do our own thing and try to take it a little more serious than other people, I think. Just to try to bring it to the next level. And I think we always try to top ourselves, that we try to anyway. But yeah, this is just, what we're about to see is definitely something I always look back on. We've made, really good friends from this. We got closer because of this. We learned how to work with a bunch more people from this. So I think it all means something at the end of the day. There's stuff I would do differently, but that's me with every film. I'm my own worst critic. So.
You did a fantastic job, Anthony, so no discredit to you. You are one of the greatest directors I think we've all as a crew have had. And as a friend,
thanks, man.
It's come a long way, so that's going to show here from now to what we're currently doing. But before we get into it,
yes.
I do want to take note of one thing, because we're probably going to comment on that anyway. I'm just going to get it out the way now. The entire crew, for the entire 4 days of this shoot, suffered through the heat, humidity, and rain.
Very rainy
for
summer.
40 minutes that we're going to go through this commentary with you. 40 minutes of it, to be honest with you, we had 4 days. We only really had out of those 4 days a few hours each day. Maybe 4 hours, 5 hours tops, because the rain kept coming in periods. So in reality, it's a whole day of shooting, but it's on and off, in different segments. So it wasn't continuous because we had to...
And the days blend together, right? So it's like we had to shoot scenes out of order because of that weather.
One day it looked more gloomy than the other because the rain wouldn't let up. So then it's like...
There's inconsistencies with that, like little things.
Yeah, the weather made it inconsistent. It wasn't us, just the weather. So I just wanted to get that out the way.
Yeah, sometimes you are shooting against... And we did shoot this at your house. This was at your house. And, we kind of wanted to make it more of an isolated film. I was kind of inspired by Night of the Living Dead, which just takes place in a house. And I tried to make it to where it made sense of why they would be staying there. But I tried my best. I think everyone else in real life would probably get the hell out of Dodge, but I think it just works for what we had, because it was like location. We had two locations: Brandon's house, the streets around his house, and then my house and the streets around my house. It was like pretty much the only
we were
two
limited
places.
to freedom. So
Devil's Work, our third feature, quote unquote feature, would be the more like where we actually switched up some of the areas a lot, which I was happy about that. So we always try to find new areas. We do live in middle of nowhere in South Jersey, but there is plenty of areas to find.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about Devil's Work, because I mean, people have seen it, but no one's actually heard my perspective on the character I played, and I'm not like trying to get that out there, but there's a lot I want to talk about, because there are a lot of things I'd like to do and that I think I could do more with a character like that. But that character from that movie, that's going to be something completely different next time. I'm not going to copycat.
Right.
Obviously, that's not what you want to do, but anyway, I'll let you get into it. That's my bad.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, we have this is one of the first commentaries I've done with someone else on the channel. I did a commentary of this actually by myself a year after I recorded or refilmed this. But, I feel like 10 years is a lot better perspective than 1 year. So that's why I figured, let's just get into this and we'll make this a fun one. So here it is, No More Room in Hell. I play David and Brandon plays Marcus. We have Dave playing Isaac. We got James played by Eddie. We got Kate played by Erica. And we got Nicole played by Anastasia. And that's exactly pretty much the main cast. We got... Nicole playing a zombie, Antonio playing a zombie, and Zach playing a zombie, and Joey Bacella, and Erica also did the makeup. Maggie also did makeup too. So yeah, this is it, guys. This is our project from 2013. Let's go back in the Wayback Machine and starting the movie in 3, 2, 1.
You ever wake up from a bad hangover and not know what the hell happened the night before? Well, unfortunately this time, it wasn't drinking. And at least when you get wasted, you know it's your fault. Me, I didn't know what the hell happened. I had cuts and bruises and a gun next to my face.
And this is No More Room in Hell, waking up on the floor. Because, you know, I get knocked out, and you'll see why in a little bit. And this is right in my my back room in the basement here. I actually cleaned it up just for this shoot because I knew we were going to be back here.
If I look to my left right now, I'd technically be looking Anthony in the eyes from where I'm sitting, where this scene was shot.
Yeah,
Like,
yep, yeah, it's literally right to the left here where we're recording this.
still looks the same.
And we have the our prop gun from Max Payne. That actually, they're no longer with us, those prop guns, but
They serve their purpose.
they
that's
serve their
for sure.
purpose. This is a really shitty color-corrected shot that is too orange, and it's, you know, the problem was the lights. I used to have these like really like orange lights that were down here, and it would make the camera look like this, and
Super saturated.
super saturated. There's the Xbox 360 collection, the Left 4 Dead posters I still have, the Grindhouse poster I still have. The basement has changed tremendously, but you know, this is a good little snapshot of that. Me stumbling up the stairs here. I actually don't even remember owning those sneakers, but I think they look awesome. I like the orange and the Nike. I'm like, wow, I got some good shoes back then.
Makes you look more like a protagonist.
Yeah.
Like GTA 3, Mr. No Name.
Yeah.
Black
yeah.
T-shirts,
talk
and
during
blue
the whole
pants,
thing.
and a pair of Adidas, and you're good to
Yeah.
go.
And here's the thing, same thing, more dark lighting here. And we have our first zombie, which is Anastasia. And
See,
Erica did the makeup for this one right here.
So if you notice here, you see how it kind of looks bright outside? Well, that's... From the inside, it looks bright, but realistically, it's super gloomy outside.
It was
like,
very
it was
cloudy.
raining
Like
already.
Brandon said at the top of this commentary, like the weather was
So like even that
against
shot
us.
looks like the sun's out. It's not. It's
not.
cloudy.
This was
as
very
hell,
in the
dude.
morning. I remember getting very little sleep. I slept over at Kyle's house
Yeah,
that
see,
night.
like even there, you can see it a little bit, but it still looks too.
Yeah.
See there,
There it is.
You can see. You can't even really see the rain, but you can tell it's wet outside.
Yep. I remember I had to stay over Kyle's house because we had to get stuff ready in the morning, and I barely got any sleep because I was so like just anxious to get started and to get everything together. Kick to the shin, and the F the world and F you too, and smacking her with the pistol, which I wish we used practical blood. Instead, it's CG hits, and now we're in the rain, this is a really cool shot. And I also really want to shout out Kyle, who really was the cinematographer in this whole thing, because I was playing the main character and I couldn't shoot. So Kyle definitely came through with this one, and he had to be patient with a lot of starting and stopping and mistakes and, you know, everything else. So yeah, I just want to let that be known that yeah, he definitely
This
came
shot
through.
right here depicts like Monday every week for me. Like,
Yeah.
This is how I feel when I wake up on a Monday. That right there, that's me by Friday. Like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
me walking away on Friday.
It was pouring, and then guess what? We had to film still this day at Brandon's house. So basically, we drove, and we have the behind-the-scenes clip of us driving to shoot this scene, me walking to Isaac's house, and it was just pouring. So we had to wait. We actually had to wait a little bit because we also had to
See,
do
if you look
makeup.
down the street, the sun's coming out a little bit. You can because
It was trying to come out that day. It just the clouds were just overtaking it, but you can see the puddles and you can see how wet it is. And here is Eddie playing we just call him Farmer Ed in this thing. Even though he plays another character, I made sure that he faced away the camera, even though you could tell it's his voice, but it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, I mean this is a long time ago, so we knew there's gonna be
Limitations, you know.
This is the M for you, pal.
No, not yet.
See, okay, so when we previewed this, when we did this, it was the screening at my uncle's house. We pretty much all our features we've done these screenings. That shot, that gunshot. See, my uncle has surround speakers, and he's one of those dudes who lives he lives by himself and just has money to spend on anything. And he had these loud ass speakers. When he shot Farmer Ed in the face, we'll call him. That shit was so loud it almost broke the glass. Everyone was like, "Holy shit!" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, like it, you know."
Yeah, we try to make some, you know, some kind of step up in our gunplay here, especially the muzzle flashes and stuff. This was an improvement over Max Payne. Max Payne had some pretty atrocious, and that's on me, some pretty atrocious, muzzle flashes. I was trying to experiment and learn, and I think by this, I got it down a little bit. It's still not good by today's standards because everyone that makes stuff is, they're, just constantly improving how all the stuff looks on a realistic scale. And here it's like we just kind of did what we could do.
So my house has like 10 feet added onto the front of it. It don't even look like that.
Doesn't look anything like this, yeah.
My house looks like a shed right now at this current time, but
right.
now in this time in 2023, it looks like an actual house.
And here is Dave playing Isaac. This is our best friend right here, and he's got the Wonder Years shirt on, the classic Wonder Years shirt, which now has been repressed.
You have to trust me, for Christ's sake. All right. Forgive me for being so cautious.
And I appreciate Dave doing this because he's not really like the acting type. It's not like he would always take on roles or want to be in roles, but he really did a good job, and I don't think he gives himself enough credit. But I know, we kind of he was watching this and kind of wincing at some parts the other time he was hanging out here. But he's still he still really has fond memories of this. And my favorite thing here is the pictures of Brandon's family all over the wall that we didn't take down. So it's like I'm going into Isaac's house.
It's funny where that AC is right now. There's now a bay window there. And where that front door is, it's a wall.
It's a wall.
And like where the steps is, it'd be like on the other side of that wall, there'd be a closet and then the actual door going outside. Like it doesn't look.
It doesn't even look the same, yeah. And yep, James, Marcus, and Nicole, and obviously there's you, Brandon, and Anastasia is playing. She played the zombie, and now she's playing this character. And then there's a picture of Brandon and his sister to the right.
So I just want to say this because it's me, and I can say this about myself. And now that this word exists, I have to say it. I look like a fuckboy in this movie. Like, I have the goatee that the 80s wants back, and I refuse to give that shit up. Like, I don't know what I was thinking, but it's there. So.
There's, no infected around here. We only saw a few hordes pass, and when we do that,
yeah, this whole thing of, the
maybe
hordes
Gears
passing.
Of War.
I kind of wanted to make it to where by the time they woke up and they found each other, most of the zombies were gone. So but they would show up later, and they were getting stronger and stuff like that. Phone lines are down, blah, blah, blah. Still electricity, though.
Funniest part about this movie is the phone lines are down, but those pictures of my family are still up there to this day.
And now we have Marcus, who is involved with Kate, and my character's not happy about it. And here's Erica, who also did the makeup in the Walking Dead shirt. And Brandon's got the muscle shirt on, which is just classic.
Oh my god, dude. No tats? That's weird to me.
I know. It's like we were kids.
I feel like I'm looking at an alternate version of myself.
But this is why
weird.
I think doing a commentary 10 years as opposed to a year, for example, is really holy crap. We were just reminiscing on the stuff. It kind of floods back the memories a bit. And my character's just mopey and sad and pissed.
Confused.
Yeah. They said, what is that?
It's kind of like
the
close.
Gatorade bottle that we didn't move out of the shot. Shit like that. It's it's why? Why wasn't that moved, little things I see.
And you see all my deodorant up there.
You don't have that stereo. You just got rid of that stereo a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
You still have your CDs still? That binder?
Yeah, oh yeah, I still have everything. Everything's still there. Yeah, I'm never getting rid of that shit.
Yeah, no, I gotta hang on to that. So these dream sequences I actually shot after the fact. So I was trying to bring up more of the dread and stuff that the character was going through, and him aiming the gun at himself and stuff like that. So again, very much trying to extend a little bit on the lore, but I also wanted to. When I was editing, I was like, this can use something else here because it kind of just fades in. So I wanted a little bit more time. So this I shot by myself, actually. I shot this in, I think, August of 2013. So while I was still working to build the computer, I was still working at the lime place to, make as much money as possible at minimum wage, basically, which was $7.25 back in 2013. So, yeah.
Yeah, it might have been like 8. I don't remember.
Yeah, so I shot this, and then I added it in because at this point, I actually think this might have been, yeah, this was probably the last few weeks of August, and then I just kind of spliced it in after the fact. And here's the garage, which we still use to this day for for films. If you watch The Shape Kills, you've seen this garage here.
This is mean. What?
And then Sick Things was also in there. Yeah.
No.
Max Payne.
Yeah.
But
Very, very Max Payne inspired. I mean, Max Payne 3 was very popular when I was writing the script. Keep in mind, I wrote the script in summer of 2012, and Max Payne came out in May of 2012. So I think Max Payne was all over this film. I still had that Max Payne kind of like, I wanted to do something like that. Like, we still wanted to do a sequel to it, but we didn't, still to this day. But I always was like, with the writing, it was very much inspired by Max Payne, especially the drown, the very depressed and distant, kind of voice. And this is Kate trying to talk to David, and then you got Brandon's Max Payne poster, which he still has, and the Battlefield 3 poster, which I don't think you have anymore.
no. Yeah, Slipknot.
This was actually, I think, wasn't this only like a year or two after you were up in this room? Because you were downstairs for a while,
well, it
and
was
some
only a
films
year.
showed that.
It was
yeah.
only a year because I moved in there summer of 2012. So.
Right.
And unfortunately, I was sharing a room with my brother at that time, but
Well, the Xbox 360 Slim is in there too. We both had 360 Slims, so.
Build the future, and those who spend their lives trying to rebuild the past. For far too long, I was stuck in between. I was stuck in the past so long, I've forgotten what year it was.
Yeah, again, very Max Payne inspired, and then this is when we wake up to the gunfight. So I think all of this was the first day, and then we had to cut this next scene coming up where I confront Marcus in the yard. We shot 2 different days, remember? Because we had to do the blood. We took pictures of you with, like, the blood on and shit like that.
ran out of time.
Ran out of time, and people, they got to get back to what they're doing. This is the summertime. People are
But we
busy.
did it so well, you don't even realize.
You don't
that
really
the cut
realize
was
it.
Made,
It's
like,
really just more like the setting outside. Like right here, you could tell it's more sunny than the second day we filmed.
Yeah, the second day it looks more gloomy, wet.
This is your brother Billy, and
Yeah, that's my
we
brother.
also had Melissa do the makeup on Billy as well. She helped that day as well as Erica.
It's the only time my brother ever actually like act. Well, no, he's acted a couple times, but
Yeah,
this was like the last time he did because we did Max Payne and then
he definitely after this he was like done because it was a very grueling
He's
process.
just not.
Yeah,
You want to hear about yourself?
Don't blame me, asshole.
and the chickens in the background that we traumatized.
Actually, I just realized
right
I
there,
don't think I had the goatee
that
yet.
punch?
Never mind.
I wish I added like an actual punch sound, and I didn't. So it's flat.
That's such a weak kick I did. This is good though.
Yeah, this was really good.
Obviously, I don't want to hurt my friend, but you gotta.
This
gotta
is the
throw a
next
little
day.
thrust.
This is the second day right here.
Yeah, it's a little bit darker, but not
Because
that
also, I
much.
remember what started to happen was like your parents came home by the time we were filming that first day. We had a nice window in the beginning of the day where no one was home, so we really tried to take advantage of that.
My gun from upstairs.
Both of you knock it the fuck off.
And we also had a mailman interrupt the scene, which is funny.
Wait. Do you guys hear that?
It's a mailman.
I love how you guys can't unhear that because I can't either. Every time I expect that you hear that,
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna
it's a
think you were
different
gonna say
line.
mailman, but you're not.
I went upstairs and got the other gun.
And this is one of the first group fight scenes, which I really enjoyed filming, and it was fun. We had Gabby, we had Amber. Your little sister Amber was
She's only
a
a couple
zombie.
years
She was
old.
only
Well,
she was like
six.
6 or 7, yeah. And we also had Joey and Zach as well, so you're about to see them coming up. And
Zach's funny, dude. Shout out to Zach, bro. I know if you ever see this, we don't talk much, but thank you, bro.
yeah, no, this was fun. Everyone,
Good intro.
no one really
It's the
complained
thing.
about the zombie, because again, the zombie stuff, like I was mentioning, and not to like same thing with Billy. Like I understand you got to sit around, you're waiting. It's like you're hurry up and wait. Like that's the joke, with films, because it's like that's what you have to do with makeup. It's very extensive. So I commend anyone that sat there for Erica, Maggie, Melissa, like doing the makeup, because it took a while and they did a really good job. And like this
Oh
was
my
the
God,
first
the
time.
sink, bro.
The
We
sink,
kept making
I know.
brownies and
This
cookies.
fence, you see how loose that fence was? That fence was loose since like 2005.
So yeah, there's a whole
had to jump over
brand
that.
new fence there. It's all white. It's up plastic,
Yeah.
like hard plastic, so
Marcus here.
keeps the dogs in.
You got the ammo box.
Alright, I'm gonna hit the bats, alright?
You can see the latex on the table there. And here's Bacella and Zach in the front yard. All right, we got Tori. Yeah, Tori, Gabby, and Amber from left to right. So they all came out and helped out. And Tori was also in Devil's Work as well.
So where that closet is, there's a fridge now.
Yeah, there's a fridge where that closet is. And the bats, that was the big thing. So shout out to Ben. He lended me the bats. And the one thing I liked was that we chose the bats because I remember in the summer of 2012 writing the script, and Kyle was hanging out with me at the time, and I was like, what's like a good practical weapon to use that doesn't look silly? And bats was like the other thing that worked. So yeah, I wanted to, maybe the bat sound effects could have sounded a little bit punchier, like fleshier. This is a great shot. And shout out to Tori who threw the blood on you, and it got in your eye, but it was worth it for the shot.
Yeah, it didn't really burn. It was just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I just couldn't open my eye.
Here's Zach being an awesome zombie. Everyone did a really good job. Especially Tori. She's got the twist down.
I think women are just more believable at being zombies because they have this flexibility, kind of like, if anyone's familiar with like how The Last of Us is now, like the clickers have like a very specific movement / sound to them.
Right.
I feel like the zombies have it the same way. I just feel like as a dude, I couldn't play a good zombie because I can't contort my body like a zombie should. You know what I mean? Like, you need the proper... that's why they hire the right people.
You know, yeah, it takes a lot of the, trying to... And that's what you try to do better, as you cast, No bite mark on his neck, by the way. Yeah, and you left. You left and pretty much killed off Isaac here. You left the scene.
It's actually the first time I can say as a character I've gotten someone killed because I don't really like playing the bad guy, but I necessarily don't care either.
You went from playing the main, kind of vigilante-esque type in Max Payne to, someone who actually was, like the villain of this movie.
Well, that's not true because then Devil's Work, and then that kind of contradicts itself.
Yeah,
so.
well, this comes in order, like it went from Max Payne to this to Devil's Work, where you also played a killer. So, and this is the bite mark, which actually looks good. But I like this, where I leave him to put his own pressure on the wound. Like, I should be putting my hand on his neck right now.
All you did was add to him bleeding out more, because all it's going to do, once that rag fills up, he's going to bleed out, because it's not absorbing
Yes,
anymore.
and in real life, there would be blood constantly coming out, but obviously...
Man, David, help me.
Yeah. So, yeah, little things like this are kind of, they're... Again, I look back, and I'm like, okay, we did the best that we could do.
See, I like that shot, because that's all natural light.
Yeah, the light's coming in from the door.
I know we did this like multiple times for this because everyone was laughing.
It was hard. Yeah, it was hard. I know for Eddie, this was his first time having to memorize lines, and it was tough. But he did a really good job. Again, like everyone, even if it was the first time doing it and they weren't used to it, they got it down and they took direction.
It looks like Dave was ascending to heaven. Looking in retrospect,
yeah,
that shot, it was like he's already on the couch. He's like he's passed already, bro. He looks like he's dead cold.
He's already done. Yeah, this was very interesting because we had to, again, this was like between the second and third day. Now, that scene that you just saw outside was just one day. Like, we had to shoot that a separate day because we had to get everyone together. And after that one day, that was it. We could only shoot that one day. So this was like the third day when we did Isaac and the death scene and everything when he turns. So, yeah, sometimes that was the one like sacrifice we needed. We're like, okay, we need all these people, all this makeup. It's going to take all day. And it literally was just one day. So now we're on like day 3. So this is right between day 3 and 4, which we get to the fight scene out back. And then this is when she realizes, oh, yeah, Marcus is the asshole. I want to be with you. And, yeah, so very any other, person would probably just, not be in the house at this point because, again, you just got overran by zombies. But this is what we could do. Just try to make it isolated, you know what I mean? Just try to make it in one spot because that's what we could afford to do, essentially.
What is FEMA doing? What is FEMA doing during this apocalypse?
Yeah, why is someone from The Walking Dead in this movie? I don't understand.
No,
I wish we had I had like a better wardrobe lineup for the whole cast, but we just kind of dressed like high school kids, but that's what we were. So I think it just kind of works out. You know what I mean? You got Eddie with the Fox shirt, Dave with the Wonder Year shirt. I got the black T-shirt on. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's funny.
Me looking like I was pulled out of an 80s freaking comic book. Like,
yeah, it's just like, yeah, the muscle shirt. Yeah, it's like, come on, it's classic at this point. It's just part of the.
Like, what is this, Metallica? You're like,
Yeah.
No.
No, it's everything worked out, and also, like, you know, we had to do a lot of. There's a script on the bed. I always love shots like that when you just see the script, you know.
Out of anything, there's a script on the bed.
That's the thing too. Like, there's a lot of little flubs that, you know, only even people like us, like, we notice because, you know, we're just used to it. Like, we're used to seeing like the mistakes in some of our early stuff, but it's funny, you know. And especially now because, you know, this next scene where
It would have been funnier if I'm like, did you just notice that? Now I'd be like, yeah, bro, it's the first time I'm noticing it. I'm like, oh, damn. Like,
Yeah.
That's the first time I'm noticing it.
Yeah, that was the first time I picked out that script, honestly, because I noticed the script in a couple spots that were back at the end. I think at the at my house when me and Erica are in the back room. That was like, there's a shot of the script like right there, and this is the same day, but this was just later because we had to do the makeup for Dave's character Isaac, and this was one of the shots where I had to get in one shot.
Yeah, we couldn't.
The I Call 5
shirt,
shirt, I love it.
There were no do-overs for this shot.
This is classic.
Yeah, there's no do-overs for this.
Yeah.
So this is a one-and-done shot.
Dave's shirt is classic, but yeah.
There were no reshoots for this. What you see is what you get.
What you saw is what you got, and everyone looked up at me after I did this scene. They were like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah. All right, we're done. Moving on. And there you go. I always like that shot of the blood coming out.
So, like,
I still like these shots, man. I mean, you know, some of the shit we were we did our best.
It would make sense that it trails off first because that's the exit wound.
Right.
Exit wound splat. Yeah. And here's your nomination that Leonardo should have already won. Here's Ant giving it to you right now. Like.
Yeah. It's had to scream because, you know, your best friend dies, so you gotta you know, gotta put some emotion into it. And yeah, we did it, and everyone like looked up and they were like, holy shit. So yeah, we did it in one take. And now leaves Dave, James, Kate, and Nicole. And this is me just putting some dirt on him in the back. This is behind Brandon's like fence.
He deserves a proper burial. Doesn't give him a coffin, just bury some leaves on him. He's like, all right.
Well, where are you gonna get a coffin in the? You know what I mean? That's what I figured. I was like, all right, you know what? Let me just bury him in dirt.
You should just instead of been
they
like,
do
rise,
it in movies.
Jason, rise.
Yeah, they do it in movies all the time. You know, where they just like throw dirt on them. They're like, all right, this is all I can do.
I mean, to be fair, funerals are expensive. Like,
I mean, during a zombie apocalypse, I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean,
cremation.
Maybe. I mean, bonfire.
We should just lit the bonfire pit.
Yeah,
Be like, there you
yeah.
go, just throw him in
He's
there.
done.
Like,
And then this is still the third day, and we were, you know, again, it was very hot, and this was when we needed to get, I think it was this and part of, I think it was just this scene, and then the last day was like we shot in both places. We shot at your house, and then we went to my house. So this is the M16, the Gatorade bottle in the
you
shot.
still have that, right?
I still have it.
Yeah, I was
it's
gonna
still a
say.
good prop gun. It's still good. There's nothing wrong with it because it's heavy. It's a paintball gun. This is Antonio, Zach, and Tori. And then Nicole plays this zombie here.
Zach Zombie came back for shits and giggles. He's like, round 2.
Yeah. So, yeah, we had to reuse some people here. What are you going to do? And this is the old shed, which is not there anymore, right? It's not there? It's still there?
That shit's in the trash.
It's gone.
And it has been.
James, wait.
And so this
Eddie heard that with, like, the drop of a dime. He had cat light here. He said, whoa.
Yeah.
Motherfucker came out of nowhere.
So this goes into... There's Dave's old car in the background.
We're already sinking in
Oh,
shit.
my God.
The old school boy. Yeah,
That thing's in a crusher somewhere.
Yeah.
Or cubed up in a junkyard in a cube.
And yeah, so this is when we had to split up the filming 2 different days here.
And you don't even notice. Oh my God, there's my truck.
There's the
Holy
old
hell.
truck,
I
yeah.
don't even have pictures of that truck anymore.
There
This is
you
like
go.
the only footage of it.
This is them getting stronger. They won't die.
Eddie just comes out with the I don't give a shit.
The loud ass like M16 sounds.
Yeah, Yeah, but come on, for 2013, this is not bad. I mean, the muzzle flashes look more decent than some of the shit we have today. I mean, to be fair.
I mean, that's the thing too. It's like, I was still learning, and this is the last day right here. This right here. This is the last day. So we started filming here, and then he sacrifices himself, tells us to get out, so we got to leave. There's a script to the right with the pen.
Hey guys, how about we do this? Someone comment at the bottom of this when you watch this. How many times we left the script? Oh, there's 3. Isn't that 3 right there to the right? Snack cabinet?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
So that's 3. All right, so do this. I'm not going to say anymore. Someone go through this and just give us a total count how many times we left the script laying around somewhere.
I think we definitely
mistakes.
did it in Max Payne as well, so I think it was a common thing. Devil's Work, I don't think there's any, but I might be wrong about that. I have to go back and check.
We'll have to find out. I'm not sure.
But that was the last... this is the last day, and we moved. This is right around the corner, actually, and we moved from Brandon's house the same day. The last day of filming is always tough because you want to make sure that you get everything done, and we're definitely down to the wire. My batteries were dying. This was actually shot with Nicole's camera because I needed to shoot with something while my camera was charging.
Yes,
so I had to. Everyone was chilling in the basement while we were out filming this, which is. This is Nicole's suicide scene, and
2 different Nicoles, by the way.
2 different Nicoles. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of name.
At the time, my friend Zach was dating Nicole the zombie, and then this is the character Nicole. So it's 2 different Nicoles, just to clarify.
And now this is actually, I remember because when we filmed this, we had the cat that was around at this time that would walk around, and I have footage of that on the blooper reel. I like this shot, though, because her body's just gone, Right, I think about... Where is it? It disappears. Right when the switches the angle, I think.
Does it mean she got up and walked away, though, or...?
That's what I'll say. I'll just say that. I'll just say she got away, no one saw her.
Oh, yeah, that's what we meant to do.
That's what look. She's gone.
Yeah, we meant to do that, guys. That's part of the story. It's there for
So we shot this, and then, which is so funny. We're so ballsy, just walking around a neighborhood with guns that look real, like just did not
this
care.
was also before the past 7 years when all the gun violence has increased by a lot.
Yeah, now we have to be a lot more safe. But yeah, it's definitely just again a snapshot in time. Guerrilla filmmaking at its finest, and we're back at the house that we started in, and now this is when we have our showdown with Marcus, your character, which I think comes up right after this here. One thing that I hate about this is the fact that you just hear the fish tank going off. It just sounds like someone's pissing in the background. Very just annoying. And
yeah, but I mean, let's say you go to someone else's house though, or
I know it's common things.
I mean,
that you would, yeah.
I mean, okay. So if we looked at it from a realistic standpoint, there probably wouldn't be power at this point. You know what I mean? If at this point we're days into this,
there wouldn't be power. There wouldn't be.
The grid would have gone down.
Yeah. So these are just things, and then this right here, the picture of Jim Morrison. That's still in my house.
Dude, Jim Morrison forever, bro. Like,
he's engraved into this film.
Everything. He's been in more than just this.
That carpet isn't even there anymore. That carpet's all different. Yeah, very very different. And
the sliding door is I think the only thing that remains the same.
Yeah.
Other than this pictures, your family pictures on your wall.
Yeah, well, see, this is my house, so it kind of makes sense. It's supposed to be my house in the film, where in here, it's like I'm going into Isaac's house with you on the wall. It's like, wow, Isaac must be a big fan of Marcus. Has him on his wall. But this is the...
We'll look past that, I guess. Yeah. That's okay, though.
Back room pretty much looks the same. It actually was redone, I think, the year before when I got the basement redone because there was a flood in the back room. So this is us, in the back, sitting on a cooler here. And you can see a script coming up. I will spoil that. That is coming up. But you're going to have to see where it is. And you can see the blow dryer on the top. That's what we used for the makeup and stuff like that.
I want to see if I spot it because now I don't even know.
It's kind of funny. And there's ESPN 2K5, I think, to the right. Yeah, this was all the last day. This was a little tough because we had to film this with 6 people in the basement, and it was hard to keep everyone quiet. You remember how it was very frustrating, especially for Kyle who was shooting this thing.
Because everything echoes in the basement too. So when it's echoing and someone even
it's more
laughs or giggles, it's
I like how I just
pick
pull out a fucking granola bar from the cabinet like a asshole. There's the AK-47 that we used in Max Payne to the right. So yeah. There's that. I think it broke. The front of it like snapped.
That thing they're sitting against, that cabinet, that's still sitting there. in
Yeah,
the
that
same
cabinet is
spot.
still there. That's been there since there it is. And we have so those lights in the back. I still have them. The bulbs are out. But sorry, Kyle's dad, I never give them back to you. But I still have them. They're painter lights, but we use them for lights outside.
I don't think he paints anymore, bro. I think he's retiring
But the
soon.
thing
He's
is,
past
I-
that shit.
but
10 years too late with that
shout out
IOU
to
shit.
shout out to him because we used that light for Max Payne for all the nighttime scenes, and that worked out that we could film. We didn't have film lights back then. It's a different time, But yeah, and the last scene that we're about to do here is the showdown between Marcus and David here, which kind of explains the backstory. Which again, I wish I kind of made it a little more like I wish like when we shot this scene that you're about to see here, when you come in the basement and knock me out. I wish I kind of had you guys more uniformed up. Like I wish I could have ordered something on Amazon or could have done something to kind of make it a little more government agent-esque, because I always felt that twist was a little far-fetched, but I kind of just went with it. I was like, I need something.
There's always some asshole somewhere who already has it all, and even though he works for the law, he's got to have more.
Yeah, there's that power hungry. There's Dave's old car out there.
Which is, it's funny because, we look at this as just like characters and something we made, but like a lot of people today are like that too. So like, I also touch with Anthony, like when we write these things, we're not necessarily trying to connect it or relate to anything, but it's kind of funny to me that sometimes there are messages I feel like we do create, but
yeah, whether it's intentional or not, I feel like we always try to bring something through the characters. You know what I mean? And you're right. It's kind of part of that.
We have fun doing it. It's just it's always gotta.
It's fun playing someone else that you're not. I think
Yeah.
that's the fun of it. So here's Ben, who helped out with this scene, and
My fault for his wrist being like that to begin with.
yeah, that happened.
Prior to this,
Yes,
before.
we got the Marcus statue, the old microwave, the old Resident Evil 5 poster, which I still have.
See, we go in as normal civilians. Makes it easier to get around. We need someone who is not infected.
Stop asking questions.
Now this right here, when Brandon throws me, I actually hit my knee on the concrete. It was bad. This right here, that reaction was real. Fuck.
It's not like you just took a nice, cold, refreshing sip of Coca-Cola.
Yeah. No, I kept it in because I was like, fuck it, that really hurt.
You're the one who did this to me. You're with the government. They're killing everyone. I bet you left
This time, just hit me with the gun. Just throw it at me.
Right.
I would just kill you two lovebirds right now, but I'll let you suffer.
I won't let that happen.
It's too late. They followed me here.
This is another one that I kind of wish that we made a little extended, this fight scene here. Kind of more build up to the villain, Especially if you were infected. I wish we kind of made it more of like a super zombie, Instead, I kind of just shoot you in the head and you're done. But I wish that there was more like, more that we could have done. But it's just timing,
He's down for now.
Not even disappointed.
I still liked it. I still thought we did a good job. As you can see, we were kind of losing daylight here, and the summer days were long, so that was on our side. You can obviously shoot. I always love this shot here, them coming out of the woods. Very cool. This is the last time we used our zombies.
That's Antonio. That's right.
Yeah,
I keep
Antonio's
forgetting.
there.
Yeah, this is
It's a
my
throwback. You can
my
see
man
all
ain't a zombie no more. He's flying his helicopters.
He's in Florida now. Yeah, he just moved. I think that was the last time we used a shot of the zombies, and now it's just us kind of going into the garage, waiting our doom, because it's a very doom and gloom down ending. So that's kind of where I ended it. So
We need to go to the garage now. We don't have enough ammo to fight them off.
again, the orange lights just kill me. I'm just like, why? But it is what it is. Again, still use this garage to this day. It's like, let's just sit here and await our death, basically.
Well, I mean, in a sense of,
Running out of options, yeah, it's like, that's kind of where I just put the characters. Basically, shit out of luck, and, get getting down to the wire where all your friends are gone, because that's how it usually happens very quickly in zombie.
I truly believe that if a zombie apocalypse was to happen, I think honestly no one would survive. Reason being, because unlike The Walking Dead, we're not dragging it on for 10 seasons. It's pretty straight to the point.
Right.
You're in
I
it.
think it is.
You're in it to win it, or you're not. But it's like also too like
You only have
you
so
don't
much
have that
time,
option,
and you only
Like,
have so much time to rekindle relationships or try to figure out how your friends are going to react in the situation for so long before shit hits the fan anyway. So I think that's kind of like a it's kind of like it ends very quickly, and that's kind of where I was at. And then this right here, all those sound effects we shot when it was just me, Brandon, Kyle, Erica, Anastasia, and I think Joey. And we did those sounds when we were like wrapped. Most people went home, but that was like the last thing we filmed was those zombie sounds. And then I added
the banging on
the outro. Yeah. And then this was Digital Summer, Worth the Pain, which is what we used for the ending song, because that was a great, really great EP. And
Too bad they're not around anymore, really.
they're not around, but they were really cool. And I remember, like a Momo, I messaged the singer like, "Hey man, can I use my song like this indie film?" He's like, "Yeah man, I don't care." But not that I needed his permission, but I just thought it was cool if he would reply, and he did. So that's cool. I don't know if you've ever watched it, but
Probably not. But I mean, at least with that, what we got out of it was worth it.
Yeah.
Good times.
And there's Kyle as AD, because he really was helping out with everything. Really helped out with the shoot. Everyone here, again, listed in here because they really pulled through. This was a definitely a team effort. At the time, it was one of the biggest productions that we've done, because we had a lot of people. We had a lot of... It was a lot, man. It was a lot, but it was fun. I mean, I just remember fondly of like... Things didn't work out the year before with filming it, but then when we filmed this, everything at least went smooth for the most part. There was a couple like delays and a couple things that we had to like move around for the filming days, but like we didn't really have like any issues with delays or anything. We had to just wait for the year. I think because we had to wait a year to film it, we were so prepared. Props, makeup, people on board that were down to do it. That's the one thing that we definitely were more prepared, I think, than even Max Payne when we filmed that, because we filmed that during a school year. This we filmed at the tail end or beginning of the summer, and those are all the actors there, all the makeup effects crew, the Kevin MacLeod he does, it's like royalty free music that he uploads, so I just put all the songs in there. So those are all the songs you heard during the whole film. That wasn't original like this song here. And we had a lot of time to wait and edit, and like I said, I worked on getting this PC built just to finish this film, and also just to start my next 10 years of editing. I'm still on the computer that I built back then during this summer is what I'm on right now making this content. So it was all for something, you know what I mean? It all opened up more doors. And like I said right there, John and Heather letting us use the house, Perry for helping me build a computer, and all my family and friends, you know who you are. I mean, that's pretty relevant to this film, basically. So it's, I mean, basically, if it wasn't for my friends and people looking out for me, this wouldn't have gotten done. So when these are all team efforts, I mean, it makes it a lot more rewarding when you're able to get on the other side of that fence, so to speak, and get it and see it done. And yes, we had the screening in September. Before it came out, we had a surprise party for Brandon, and we screened it there. So we also did that. So that was the cool thing. And it's Gun Wars Productions. That's the old channel name. So that's why that's there.
Yeah. What a place in time.
That's a snapshot in time right there. That's
Copyright.
Copyright, even though it wasn't copyrighted.
Can never be too careful.
Once we get the trademark.
I mean, it was copyrighted because it's our material.
Yeah.
So that's a fair argument.
But the thing is I think it was a very fun process overall. Like, as this wraps up and this fades out, we'll do like a little outro here. How do you feel overall about, like, when you look back on those years of filming? what comes to mind the first thing, like what did you take away from this experience overall, as far as compared to what we did with Max Payne? Like what do you think what do you think of when you just think back, like just in that 4 days of filming? It's a very short time to film something.
I think for me at least, I mean, I don't know about everybody else. I'm a pretty I mean, I'm used to enduring many different things, and I don't know. I feel like as long as we're doing it together as a team, it makes it much easier and less stressful. I don't know. I mean, a lot changes every year, every time we do something new, so it's really hard to pinpoint like what my favorite thing is and what I took away.
And it was a decade ago,
I mean,
so it's
I've so much has happened. I kind of forgot some of it, but it's always nice to refresh once in a while. I definitely think I took a lot. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but a lot of the things we do now, it's not the same as what we did 10 years ago. So it's like my mind is just it's as structured as the scripts are. So like I'm pretty on key. Like if we're doing something and something is explained or discussed to me, it's like I just want to do it right. And I feel like with this, looking back on it, I'm not disappointed in it. I wouldn't change a thing for it. But I definitely feel like because of this, as one of, I'd say, our second feature, technically?
Yeah, technically, yeah. Something that was over a short film time length, yeah.
Between work and everything, I've tried my best to be better than what I was here, and I feel like I have.
Yeah, because we've done so much since then. Yeah.
But for this, for me, I don't know. It's hard to explain. I'm grateful for everything we did. I just wish I personally could have done more. Because I
feel like, that way too, in many ways. That's why I don't try to beat myself up too much about I wish we did this here, or I wish I acted this better, this part better here. But like you said, it was a snapshot in time, and it was the first time that we actually, because if you remember, Max Payne had a lot, when we shot that fan film, we were shooting on weekends during late September and all of October, only on the weekends. So our Saturdays and Sundays, it was like Saturday, Sunday film, Saturday, Sunday film, maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday film. It was like that, where this was 4 days and that's it in a row. Like, it wasn't like, take a break.
Being pushed back for a whole year, so it's kind of like...
Yeah, there was no breaks. Like, Max Payne, we had, if you want to count school as a break, but you had a couple days to, step back, step out of the role, come back in, and be like, okay, where were we, blah, blah, blah. This was just go, 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 go. And so it was a different way, but like you said, being held back a year, we were just on it. I think we were able to execute it. And that's why I look back fondly on it, because we didn't have much responsibilities. None of us are really working. I started to work that summer. That was my first job. So it was right before I started working and earning money. That wasn't working with my dad landscaping, shit like that. You know what I mean? So I always think fondly of that, where I'm like, okay, this was a time when we started to kind of start working for our own money, and we also started putting more money into productions, because I spent money on the camera for this, and then by the time we got the Devil's Work, I already upgraded the camera again. When we got the Devil's Work, I upgraded the camera a second time to my own, SL1 Canon at the time, which came with the microphone jack and everything like that. So I started to upgrade. That's what I still have to this day. That's still the camera. Now Halloween, our Halloween fan film, I shot with Callie's camera, so which is a lot better. So again, with different things, with different over time, I feel it's you really do learn from each project, and the way we did it was the way it had to be done. Otherwise, we couldn't get to, like you said, where we are today. Making stuff like The Shape Kills was just past, 6,000. This, as we record, only has 992 views. You know what I mean? It didn't even break 1,000. So, but it's because it's just a film. The only people that know it are people that we know, or people. This got out in an algorithm in 2013, and somehow some people saw it. We shared it a lot on social media. This was due to a lot of our friends and family sharing it. I think that's where a lot of these views came from. We uploaded trailers, we uploaded teasers, we uploaded. This is back when we started to learn how to promote stuff.
I mean, if you want to say friends and family only, I mean that's a large base for just friends and family, if that's the case. I know there were
friends of friends too. I kind of should have said, because
no, you're fine. You're fine.
Out of 992 people, yeah, exactly. Because some of these could be repeated viewings too, but also, yeah, it's a lot of friends of friends, people seeing it on social media, be like, what's that? Why are they sharing that? Or what's this No Room in Hell thing? I just remember that. So yeah, I was definitely very excited to finally release this. I remember the time releasing it, editing it. I think I finished editing it by early September. So it was like, it took me about, the narration I did in July by myself, and then I started piecing it together, and it was awesome to be on a computer that wasn't lagging. I was able to, put it together in Sony Vegas and Adobe After Effects for the muzzle flashes. So it took time. That was back when I kind of edited stuff alone. I do that now too, but I also like bringing people in on the editing process, being like, yo, how does this look? Does this look good? I like getting other opinions now. It's like same thing with writing. Like I feel like with writing, especially shorts that we're all working on, I like it's a lot more collaborative now than it probably ever has been, I think. And that's a good thing because I want everybody on the same page. But also I like, with comedy skits and stuff that we kind of did around this time, that's kind of what we're going to get back to with like Grindhouse, is kind of going back to our roots a little bit and getting to the comedy stuff, because we always did. This is like Max Payne and this were the first things that we did that were serious. If you really think about it, like we did I Dwell on Thoughts of You and like a couple horror shorts, but that was like this era. It's like Max Payne fan film onward was when we started to take things, like we tried to push for that like darker, serious, like take us seriously type thing. So we had to go through those growing.
Yeah, but that's
process.
also like that's how I feel like what we did with Sick Things though. That was kind of like the making that and the thing is that wasn't even that long, but the stress of making that alone, I felt like just the idea of going dark took so much out of just doing that short alone. Like imagine trying to do a whole feature film going dark. Like it is a lot more than what people think, because you all have to be on it for the entire duration from start to finish. You guys got to be like...
And Sick Things, there's a lot of like unused material,
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, I think for Sick Things, we wanted to go a little fucked with it, but we just didn't, because you got to also remember, like, YouTube has rules and...
Well, we didn't hold ourselves back. I think we kind of got away with just whatever. Like, thankfully, the good thing is YouTube...
But we're no Quentin Tarantino, though. We can't push gore to that level. If we
tried the finger chopping off, and we threw a couple people in trunks and stuff, and we tried different things. And same thing with Halloween. It's like we try to throw in a cheesy head decapitation.
Yeah, I think the shears with the fingers was the most wild thing we did that looked more than decent.
Yeah,
that actually looked believable.
Shout out to Callie too. She sold it. You know what I mean? So I think that's a big thing too. It's like you gotta.
I still can't watch that at full volume, because I think someone's gonna call the cops on me if I watch that short film. They're gonna be like, "What is happening?"
Same thing with
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're like, "What is going on?"
We had to. That's the thing. It's like everything. We got better with makeup. We got better with the effects, and like now we have people that we try to have people on that are, again, a little bit more experienced as well, and obviously everyone that like we still work with Erica. We still work with. Pretty much everyone you saw in these videos in the past, 10 years on and off. Some people are around, some people aren't, but we try to keep everyone still working because we think it's fun to do. I mean, and that's the main thing, So, yeah, if anything, what we could take away from this was that this is how it was when we shot stuff in high school. And it brings me right back to the simpler days, but we've definitely gotten a lot more better. We've gotten a lot more resources, and yeah, this was just inspired by all the zombie stuff that I loved and Max Payne in a bow. So that's it for No Room in Hell. Happy 10 years. And
yeah, I mean, 10 years, bro. It's wild tripping time for me right there.
Yeah, it was just awesome. And maybe I'll put together some kind of little highlight thing here, or I'll do a little video, a separate video that might compile some more clips that we haven't seen before, or I'll throw them in here too. But yeah. It'll be cool to go back and look at some of those files. So
yeah, I apologize for not saying too much, but just kind of reminiscing throughout the entire thing. But I'm also trying to do a commentary, so it's like,
No, it's fine. It's multitasking. This is the first time we've done one together, or I've done a commentary with, two people. So when it's just me, I sometimes get a little rambly, but at least like if I have you here, I know I gotta, we can actually bounce off of each other because we worked on it together. So I would have loved to have Dave here and I wish I had more mics too. That's the only thing. I got 2 mics, but yeah, we can do more. We have more commentaries on the way. So stay tuned for more. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for going down this, personal trip, because for us, it really is a personal journey from our film, roots and stuff like that. So thanks for listening. Thanks for checking it out and hearing our insight. And we'll catch everyone in the next one.
Yeah. Have a good night, everybody.
Take care.